everyone. It is time for another Alvin Yellow Jacket football show. This time we're going to talk about Alvin losing to Sam Rayburn 16-7. I'm Phil Jean. I'm joined, of course, with Coach Matthew Bass. And Coach, you guys fall to 1-3 in district, 2-4 overall. Just talk a little bit about kind of what happened at Sam Rayburn.
Yeah, I mean, just a tough night. You know, it's one of those things that, we probably played our worst game offensively all year against Sam Rayburn. Played pretty good defense after the first 2-3 series. And, you know, that's one of the things we talked about is we have to learn how to start fast. We can't slowly get into things, right? We don't have that ability to bail ourselves out. And then offensively, we always talk about establishing the run game, which we did none whatsoever. And really tough to be competitive in that.
Yeah, especially 23 carries, 12 yards, like
you
said.
Absolutely.
Obviously, you guys have a lengthy week this week. You're not playing a game. You get to do a little bit of planning and resetting, I guess.
Sure.
What are you kind of trying to focus on?
You know, some people say, oh, we're going to focus on us, and I get that. We focus on us at the beginning of the week, and then towards the end of the week, we start looking into Manville. And so we use the Wednesday, Thursday to be more Manville-esque focused. Monday, Tuesday was more on us. And so that just gives us a little bit more time to work the kinks out about how we want to play Manville, both defensively and offensively, going into next week. So it's fall break. The schedule's going to be a little weird, but we got to continue to not let things get in the way that aren't important.
How is the mental makeup of the team after that loss? Obviously, that was kind of one that you kind of were looking forward to maybe gain some momentum.
You know, that would have been a good one that would put us at 500. It is what it is. That's how things happen sometimes. I will say that the overall mentality of the team is still there, right? They still want to be competitive. They still know that they can go win some football games. But I think they're starting to figure out that when you don't do little things right in practice, it hurts you in the end.
Okay. All right, we're going to take a short break, and then we're going to take a closer look at this game. Again, a 16-7 loss to Sam Rayburn. Join us right after the break. All righty, welcome back. We're going to take a look at the Yellow Jackets' offensive performance. 12 yards on the ground the week before, 174 against South Houston. Let's take a look at some of the plays that we can show. Let's start with this first play right here.
You know, I mean, it was really tough for us to build a pocket. I mean, we just really struggled in general. But Colin Bro is a kid that we're starting to see left and right. It's just having a really good season for a sophomore kid, sure hands, really starting to get into his own element. Comes here just a little comeback route, right? They're playing cover zero. Anthony's able to get away with his feet, give him the ball. Okay, good little play for us here, first down.
All right, let's take a look at the next play then.
We run this little H-hide play. It's just a spot with corner. Okay, once again, this is Colin Bro on the target here. If we just get a little bit better under our feet here, right, lead this guy a little bit better, I think we're better off. However, once again, still a good little play for us. Okay, a spot by one, corner with two, H back in the flat.
Was able to handle the ball there before getting out of bounds. Let's take a look at the next play then.
Little zone read on the goal line here. This was a really good play for us, right? We're going right into half. It's 16-0 at this point. We need something to go our way. This is one of those series that we actually were successful. We drove it down. We did have some penalties that fell in our way, but I was proud of the guys being able to have the wherewithal to, whenever we have these opportunities, to exploit them, take them, and then make the best of them. Put the ball in here right before halftime.
It's enjoyable to see the one score played a few more times.
Absolutely. Absolutely right.
All right, let's move to the next play.
Another pass, drop back pass here, right? Good catch by Colin Bro. It's on the backside of his shoulder. Would have loved to have that a little more in front. But, you know, once again, great catch by Colin. They wanted to play that cover zero, right? We tested them a little bit. Probably should have tested them a little more. With that man press coverage, but so be it. Great catch by Colin again.
And you see DeSanto looking first to his right and then moving to his next read to the left. You kind of like that progression, right?
Sure. You know, I mean, obviously there's 1, 2, 3, and he didn't like what he saw, so he put it downfield. Okay,
But like you said, if you put it right on the numbers, that's another TD.
Oh, yeah. Yes, sir.
All right, let's take a look at our offensive player of the game, and it's a familiar name. We saw a couple of his plays, 2 catches for 43 yards. Colin Bro, you mentioned it. He's a sophomore, really stepping up. I believe he was player of the game the previous week as well. Just, really stepping up as a sophomore. You gotta like that.
I mean, anytime you can get a guy that continually gets called, right, that's a good deal. But I think the biggest thing with him is he's athletic, but he's also a smart kid and he's a good kid, right? He's got all the qualities you want in a player, and especially to be able to compete at this level as a sophomore, I think is good. Really looking forward to him to continue to be a big part of our offense.
Okay, let's take a look at the defensive side of the ball, where you guys had 14 missed tackles. Obviously, that's always a thing that you're always concentrating on, but actually a pretty good effort. Let's take a look at that first play.
Sure, and the thing that really gets you about the defense this last week is first 2 series, they score, right? We're not playing it very well. We're set up where we need to be. We're missing tackles left and right. We make a few adjustments. We put some things for the kids on the board, and then all of a sudden, right, they're stopped, right? They got nothing for us. But we were just a dollar short and a day late, so to speak, defensively. But I like the ability of the kids to be able to adapt, right? The coachability of our kids. They ran this play 15,000 times. It's just buck sweep to their best player, number 10, who's got 3 or 4, Division I offers. Good player. But we shut it down eventually. Great job by our outside backers and our safeties here setting edge, and our inside backers and corners triggering, right? Because we flopped our people this week. Really started coming downhill and playing football.
All right, let's take a look at the next play. And like you said, you're going to see a lot of the old buck sweep. Here it is again.
It's just a little dive play here. They put it right ahead, right? But we're doing a good job of dipping and ripping. This is, I believe it's Ashton Dean on the play. Really good job here. Just getting flat, okay? Screaming inside and taking that out. I mean, this is about as good as it gets on this little dive play.
Yeah, great penetration. You stop the dive play, you start cutting
Absolutely.
your options right there. All right, let's go to the next play. Could be a buck sweep.
Shocker. Buck sweep again, right? But once again, this play, first play of the game, right? 28, Blaine Bingham is in the same position, misses the tackle. The guy goes 40, 50 yards down the field. Having the wherewithal to then play better, wrap him up, get him down for a TFL. Those are the things that I'm looking at as well, is can these kids be coached and then fix their mistakes? And so that's something that I was very happy to see.
All right, let's take a look at the next play.
This is just kind of like an off tackle. It's not really buck sweep, okay? It's actually misdirection. They're buck sweeping to our sideline, and they're giving it back the other way. Good job by Trace Martinez and the linebacking core staying home, okay? Being physical when we bring our hips through. Pads on contact, drive. Really good play here.
Yeah, and great penetration by 94 on the initial play.
Absolutely.
All right, let's take a look at I think we have the next play. Here we go.
The second most successful play I think they had all night was lead, right? They just put it, straight up the pipe. The big thing with us is if we talk to our backside end, Colton Meyer, quite a bit, that if he could just beat the tackle across his face and run the alley, he'll get TFLs left and right. I believe this is right out of the halftime. Coach Lee talked to him about this. And then first series, he beats the tackle across his face, bam, hits the running back right in the side, TFL for Colton Meyer.
All right, let's take a look at the defensive player of the game. He's got a lovely smile there. Looks like a 27. There it is.
Absolutely.
Anthony Castro. You said he's just a sophomore though, right?
Yes, sir. Yeah, and really, really cool deal when you got MVPs in the sophomore ranks. Anthony Castro's kind of a lot like Trace Martinez. He's just a come to work and get after type kid. Good frame, very aggressive, and is a smart kid. Really excited for how he's playing, especially he came up, I believe, the week before, played a little bit, but real excited to how he has taken off, especially first game as a varsity player against such a smash mouth football team like Sam Rayburn.
Like you said, you got to be enjoying that you're having sophomores really stepping up at this level.
Absolutely. I mean, in a perfect world, you don't have sophomores on varsity. But I think that we've had some things that make that necessary. But as well, it's good to see these sophomores actually competing and helping themselves out. So really, really happy with how they're playing. Can't wait to see what Castro does for us this upcoming week.
All right, sounds good. Anything else you'd like to add about the Rayburn game before we turn the page and look ahead?
Got to be better.
All right.
Simple as that.
All right, sounds good. All right, we're going to take a quick break, and then we'll come right back. All righty, welcome back. Coach, Manvel, that's the next opponent. Just talk a little bit about how you're preparing.
You know, the big thing with Manvel is, right, they're a good football club. Coach Kirk Martin, is back, and he's doing a great job at Manvel High School. They're athletic on both sides of the ball. They do some things I think that we have the ability to exploit. They also do some things we haven't seen yet, right? They get an empty quite a bit, so we're having to work on some empty stuff, and that's something that we're going to be planning going into this week. I think that they're well coached, but once again, I think we're well coached as well. And so having that extra time to get ready for them, they're playing Rayburn this week. They got to mess around with the slot T. I think that gives us a little bit of advantage is that we get a week and a half, 2 weeks to get ready for Manvel.
And like you said, coming off that fall break, that's going to be a little bit different as well.
Sure, I mean, we talked last week about homecoming. Don't let the things that don't matter get in the way of what does matter. And so same thing talking about fall break as well is we can't let being off change how we operate because we're going to be coming in every day during fall break for practice. And so we can't let that foul up what we're going to do on Thursday and Friday that week because if so, then we wasted half of the day of our fall break for no reason, right? So make sure that we're taking care of what matters most and get ready to be competitive against Manvel High School.
All right. Anything else you'd like to add?
No, sir. We're good to go.
All right. Hopefully we'll see you with the Manvel High School game. Coach, I'll let you do the sign-off.
Jacket pride never dies.